All right, thanks for joining me today, everybody. This week for our short jazz piano practice idea, we are going to be practicing this classic ending. And so here it is. Sometimes people might know that as a Basie ending, some people might know it as a classic ending or a major 6 walk-up, but essentially it happens when we are on a major chord and it's a small harmonization. So we're just going to break it down and talk about what is going on there. So this also happens at the beginning of Moonglow. Something like that, right? This also happens at the end of Fly Me to the Moon, or a lot of the Sinatra songs will end here, like, you know, and then there's a stinger at the end. But essentially what's happening is we are on a major chord, so let's go in the key of B flat. We're trying to finish on a B flat major 6 chord, and the reason we're trying to finish on a 6 chord is that chord gets used a lot as an ending chord because the major 6 doesn't conflict if the melody note is a root. So we're going to say that we're trying to get to a major 6 chord. All that's really happening is these bottom notes are starting a whole step higher, these bottom two, and they're walking up half steps. So it's easy to work backwards from the ending point. So let's say we're going to play this in the key of D. We find a D6 chord with D on top. We walk these bottom two notes down half steps. Boom, that's where you're going to start your classic ending. And then a stinger, okay? Now what's going on when we do that? Here we are back in B flat. Really, we're kind of playing this harmony here. So it's kind of like we're approaching with a major, with another major chord from a whole step below, moving up to a dominant 7 with a flat 9 from a half step below, and then up to the major chord. So if we had a bass note that matched the harmonization here in the right hand, it would be this. At least that's the bass note that I'm imagining. And so I don't play that bass note. Most of the time I play this, and I just pedal over the root or the tonic chord. Other times I might do something like this and double one of these notes that are moving. But I don't very often go. But it does sound really nice when you play it that way. It's just really, really wrapped together. Now, this is a little bit of a stylized sound because we're ending on a 6 chord. This sounds a little bit like it's like a something that maybe I imagine like an early jazz band kind of playing and using this sound a lot. So I bust this out when I want something to sound a little bit older, a little bit more classic. It's not quite really a super modern sound. But yeah, it's great to know anyways, because regardless, you got to know all the different things you got to do to make whatever you're playing sound how you want it to sound. And so sometimes you might be looking for a little bit of an older classic sound like this. So anyways, work out this classic ending, and yeah, that'll be great. It's a great thing to add to your arsenal. And if you knew it before, maybe now you didn't know that it's just these chords walking up. And so hopefully that's very helpful to you, I guess. So. All right, happy practicing, everybody. We'll see you next week.